Hello, and welcome. I'm a storyteller. This is the World of Atlantica world-building project, a tabletop RPG being designed for Old School Essentials, Pathfinder, 2nd Edition, and other systems. Now, today's episode is going to be focused on 5 more NPCs for Pathfinder, 2nd Edition, Charhide Goblins this time, as well as more lore and world-building for Atlantica. The Charhides are a collection in Atlantica of theocratic goblin tribes who live on the continent of Sar, which is south of Icaria and south or southwest of the Infinite Isles of the Ixothar Sea. Sar is dominated by a massive desert, and the Charhides, or at least northern Sar is, and the Charhides are perfectly adapted to life in the very hot and dry environment, and are one of the more dominant political factions on Sar as a result. And that's just not a matter of their size. Obviously, goblins are small, but population-wise, there's still only perhaps 10,000 or so Charhides who live in northwest Sar. And their civilization is centered around Fire God Mountain and the canyons of the Salt Dune River, which exit out into the Mar and give the Charhides both ample fortifications and a means to which to trade with the wider world. In addition, Charhide merchant caravans trade for gold and slaves with their southern neighbors on the opposite end of the Great Desert, thanks to their tough hides, which are used to the hot weather. The so-called Fire God of Fire God Mountain, by the way, was one of the elder giants who created the Charhides, an act which angered the gods of Atlantica and led to the Dragon Wars and the destruction of the Old World. Of course, the Charhides have no knowledge of this, and even only the priesthood just understands hints and small parts of the secrets of Fire God Mountain. And with that said, the Charhides are a theocracy, and that's why our first NPC is Hafuna, the high priest, or the high priestess, I should say, of Fire God Mountain. Hafuna is a very powerful character in Pathfinder. In 2nd Edition, she's a 2nd level cleric who might very well deal with interlopers with a Finger of Death spell, or by summoning a Flux Wraith and casting Wails of the Damned. Hafuna and the rest of her priesthood preside over various ceremonies and holidays of the Charhides, and they adjudicate and govern over the various tribes. Some of the tribes are focused on external trade, north and east into Icaria and Ixothar, and south across the mountains in desert of Sar to trade with the wealthy empire of Mandan, which is a human empire of horse lords and gold miners, whose knights often conduct raids across the southern plains of Sar and trade war captives with the Charhides. The Charhides in return trade that gold and slaves from Mandan to Icaria and the Isles of Ixothar. As part of their economic and political power, the Charhides sometimes send out emissaries to foreign lands. One such emissary is Rolax. Rolax lives in Droga Ra, in a fine house in the Merchants District, and serves as that house does as the embassy of the Charhides to the Orc Kingdom of Droga Ra, which is a small kingdom but one with a very powerful navy. Rolax serves to further the interests of the Charhides in Droga Ra, and he has a lot of influential friends in the small but powerful Orc Kingdom, and which in turn, Droga Ra depends on the Charhides for a great deal especially with slaves and gold, without which the economy of the Orc Kingdom would collapse. Rolax is a level 12 sorcerer in Pathfinder, and he's quite a powerful combatant, as well as an emissary, and with spells like True Seeing, Prying Eye, and Veil of Privacy, he is greatly helped with his diplomatic efforts by his magic. And other spells, such as Flame Vortex and Wave of Despair, make him a pretty dangerous opponent as well. Now, not all Charhides abroad live in such lofty social circles as Rolax the Emissary. The Charhide Baz, known as the Arsonist, lives in Superbia and is one of the most feared enforcers of the so-called Little People's Gang. Baz is quite sadistic. He enjoys the work he performs for the Little People's Gang, which, as you might imagine, involves threatening various folk with burning their homes and businesses down unless protection money is paid. And if the protection money is not paid, Baz's work involves him burning the homes and the businesses down of those unfortunate residents. Other Charhides might be found in even wilder places. In the world of Atlantica, one such place is the road to the Undermar. Atlantica as a world is dominated by the Mar, a sea of magical energy, but below the Mar is the equivalent of the Outer Realms, known as the Undermar. It's a mixture of heaven and hell, mostly hell, mind you, and there's pockets of heaven mixed into that. But regardless, the road to the Undermar starts as a series of caverns that exist as basically the Underdark of Atlantica. And if one knows the way, one might take an actual road to the Undermar. In a Greek mythology-like way, the Atlantica version of other planes of existence all exist within a single Hades-like place. And along that road is an inn. The inn on the road to the Undermar. And that inn has a couple of Charhide employees. One is Nofix, the bartender, and the other is Brinks, who sings at the tavern at night. Nofix is a level 10 fighter, Brinks is a level 5 bard, and so the two are fairly capable of defending themselves. The inn at the road to the Undermar has all sorts of very strange visitors, as one might imagine, and so the two are quite used to dealing with all sorts of customers. Now, with that said, if you want to learn more about the World of Atlantica, or grab a copy of the full stat blocks of these Charhide or other Pathfinder 2nd edition NPCs, as well as find other monsters, classes, and maps, check out the World of Atlantica Discord channel. It's below. We've got a lot more dragons coming up in the future, so like and subscribe for more content just like this, and until next